Mitchell reels, 300s, 406s, and this one's pretty beat up. So we're going to give you two treats. One, taking it apart, and two, powder coating it. So that you can do it even in your house. You don't have to take it to a professional. You could do it in a garage. So we're going to show you how to do it. First, I'm going to take it apart. I first built this so you could put the reel in here and you could hold it and take it apart. So things, you know, it's awkward taking it apart like this. So this is what I made. Very simple. It's two pieces of wood with two dowels holding it. It's not glued together. This can come apart in case it gets damaged or something. So let's go on and let me take it apart for you. And it doesn't turn. It's jammed. So we're going to figure out how to unjam it. So first thing you do is take that off.
You got it all apart now?
I have it all apart.
All right, so this is the part you want me to powder coat?
Yes.
Boy, that looks tired.
Mm-hmm.
You got the little pegs in here so the powder doesn't go into the screw holes. That's good.
Exactly.
Well, we're not going to do the inside. We'll clean it up. We'll get all these parts into the ultrasonic and get them cleaned up real good while we're powder coating. I think the first thing we need to do is blast this whole thing with aluminum oxide, and then we'll tape it up in preparation for powder coating. So let's get it outside to the aluminum oxide blaster and see if we can rough up these surfaces. Let's get a real close look at this and see what it looks like. Now, that's pretty beat up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can't put any powder coating on this
gear. No,
this
not
gear.
on the gear. No. And this is you can see by it sitting in the you know, the shoe sitting. It's been worn out. You know, the powder.
Well, this we could do a nice job on over here.
Yeah, and you know, hey, listen, this is 1950s. You know.
Almost as old as you.
Yeah.
Well, let's get it into the blaster. We'll clean it up first in the ultrasonic, then we'll get it in the blaster, and we'll get to tape it up and see how this turns out.
All right.
Let's go too. We don't have a blasting booth, so we spray towards the outside, and we have a fan going that keeps the stuff from hitting us in the face. But we're going to start with this piece first, and we're not really looking to get rid of all the paint. We want to kind of have an even layer of paint and metal, so the powder coating will give us a nice, smooth finish. Come on, we'll show you how we do it. And that's taking off any loose paint. And that's what we're aiming for, a matte finish that removed any loose paint that was on here. The powder coating will even all this off. Let's get the next piece. Again, a dull matte finish. And let's get the last piece. And get it into the ultrasonic. You can see where the paint came off. It wasn't very adherent. And that's the purpose of blasting it with aluminum oxide, to get off any loose paint. And we've accomplished the matte finish. Interesting, the Mitchell letters didn't come off. They will with the powder coating. We'll put them back. Okay, let's get these cleaned up. Blasted these items with the aluminum oxide, and now we want to degrease the inside and clean them thoroughly. So we're going to use an ultrasonic for that. This seems to be the most efficient way of doing it. And this is an ultrasonic we picked up at Harbor Freight, and it's filled with carburetor cleaner. Great way to degrease these things. And it just goes in, get the top on, and the heater is going. And we'll give it about 15 minutes. All the grease is off, all the dust is off, and we're ready to dry it up with a solvent. We've got some acetone or some denatured alcohol. Prepare the surface for powder coating. Okay, it's coming out. It came out of the ultrasonic, and now we want to clean it up with a solvent. We're going to use denatured alcohol and an Oral-B toothbrush. You don't have to use an Oral-B, but it helps. We'll get some of this on here and give it a little scrubbing. Get any remainders of that carburetor cleaner off. And this comes pretty clean pretty fast. And then little compressed air. And this is ready for powder coating. Let's get the next piece. The last step that we have to do before it actually gets sprayed with the powder and goes into the oven is we got to protect some pieces that we don't want to receive powder coating, such as this gear right here and these holes that are screw holes, some of which we've already blocked up with wood pegs. And this will prevent the powder from getting in there and screwing up the fit later on. And this will be nice and clean. And the last one we have and it'll make for good adhesion of the powder coating like this. And we'll dry this one up. Here's our pieces. Let's mask out the pieces on here that we don't want powder coated. The hard work that you don't want to do.
Obviously.
Well, we'll see. Because
I took it apart.
Yeah, well, guess who's putting it back together?
Yeah.
You are. I wouldn't even know where these pieces go.
No, the pieces, that doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother you, yeah.
And you know what? I have another 3 of them. I could always look inside the other ones.
Yeah. What are you going to do when you hook into a 10-pound bass and this reel comes apart on you because you didn't put it together properly? Then what are you going to do?
Nah, the Mitchell only goes together one way.
You know what the nice thing about this Mitchell is? And I hope it comes out really good. It reminds me of when you went fishing with your dad. That's all you heard was that sound of the Mitchell reel. Today they got them with like 20 ball bearings and all that stuff, and they're smooth as glass, and you don't even hear them. But there was a sound to these things that was unbelievable. Remember?
Yeah, there was a sound to them. And because that sound, and I apologize, I'm moving the camera back. I know you're getting jerky around, but I want to get him talking and putting on the tape at the same time.
The reason we're doing this tape is because we don't want the powder coating to affect the gears or get into any of these screw holes. So we're taping them up, and we'll spray this with our powder coating, and then we're going to remove it before it goes into the oven. And I want to get it nice and even, and that's pretty good. Now, these holes we're plugging up with some wooden pegs. That one looks good. And we'll snap that one off. And that one should be good there. This one's a little bit big, so you know what we'll do? Let's get some tape around it and make it fatter. Although when we finish eating that pizza.
You're a funny guy.
I am. Let's see if this fits.
I think you put too much tape around it.
You know, they have an expression, too many cooks spoil the broth.
Yes, indeed.
Okay? How do you say I'm hungry in Italian?
Dengue farmer.
Who?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm getting hungry, so we got to do pizza. Anyway, this one, that's the way they're going to get sprayed. The screw holes are protected, and this gear is protected, and they're going to get powder coated. We'll remove these before they go into the oven. Let's get on to the next one.
My question is, if you go back to the other, how are you going to powder coat the top and the inside? Because the inside does...
This inside here?
Yeah.
I don't want to powder coat that.
Okay, fine.
Powder coating here, in this case, is going to be just for appearance sake. I don't think anybody's going to see the inside over here.
So you're going to flip
We're
it.
ready to
like
start actually
spray.
spraying these parts now. And we're going to be using this material from Eastwood. Great company, and this is their flat black. They have about 6 or 7 different types of black. Now, the audio may be a little screwed up because we're wearing masks now, and anytime you're using this stuff, you probably should wear a mask. And we're also going to be using a Harbor Freight powder coating gun. And as you can see, the last one I powder coated was 4 dark blue, but it's clean enough for us to get pure black out of here. So let's get this thing loaded up and see if we can get them sprayed, and we'll get them into the oven sometime tonight. It's a fine dust, so be careful.
And there's no smell, is there?
No, no smell at all. That should be enough. A little more. Okay. Seal these bags up good. They have a way of spilling all over the drawers. Okay, now, this goes onto the gun. And we're going to need a grounding plug on. And very carefully, now it's not sticking, which means we're not getting a good ground. So let's check the ground again. We fixed the ground problem. And we're looking for a nice even coat, and that looks pretty good.
Let's spin it around. Keep spinning. Yep.
Over here, where? In here?
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty even. Now we got to get the tape out. And they're cool, and they came pretty nice. You can see a close-up of them. We're going to go back and we're going to repaint the Mitchell logo on there with a fine brush, some white paint, and we kept the gears clean so it'll be easy to reassemble. And it's particularly easy to reassemble because I'm not doing it, he's doing it.
And you can see all the pitting is gone. All nice and even.
And that restores a new finish to this old reel. Now we've cleaned up all the gears, we've lubricated them, we're going to put it back together. Well, he's going to put it back together. Well, he managed to put it together. I didn't think he was going to be able to, and it turned out really nice. We took an old Mitchell reel, we cleaned it up, cleaned up the gears, re-lubricated it, powder coated it, and it's really working well. The old Mitchell reel, smooth as butter. And the sound I was talking about that you used to hear all the time, you don't hear it much anymore. This turned out real well, and we've got a few other powder coating projects on the table for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll be glad to answer them for you. If you liked the video, please subscribe, click on the bell notifications, and give us a thumbs up. See ya.